Hi, I'm Jordan, and this is my very first video that I'm making for my Patreon page. And I expect that the production quality of these videos will go up the more that I do them. But I just wanted to make sure there were a couple videos available to those of you who signed up a little early or who will be signing up at the beginning of August. And so I was just in a hurry to get this done. So this is just on my iPhone for right now. And I'm hiding in my bedroom, sitting in front of my closet doors. I promise I will always be very real with you on these videos. And yeah, anybody who has a lot of little kids knows that there's no way I was going to do it out in the main living area with all my kids running around. So, the title of this video is Reasons Why You Will Love Homeschooling. And there are a lot of reasons to love homeschooling. I'm going to cover 5 because I made them all start with F, which is fun, alliteration. But I will start with saying that as fun as homeschooling is going to be, as good as homeschooling is going to be, anything good is always hard. And there will be lots of times when homeschooling will be hard. But despite how hard it might be, there are reasons that when you get to the end of the year or even the end of a week, you will look back and you will say, I loved this. First of all, the first reason you'll love homeschooling is because you'll get to share your faith with your kids every day in every subject. I was reading different studies on how to pass on a long-lasting faith to your kids. And one of the most important things you can do is live a vibrant daily faith yourself. And one of the other things that is really important is that you teach kids to be in the habit of daily prayer and daily Bible study. And both of those things you have a chance to do better than ever when you're homeschooling. One of the practices I use in homeschooling is called morning time. I'll be talking a lot about morning time, and probably will have a video completely devoted to it at some point. But basically, it's just sort of like a circle time for big kids. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it circle time. Some people do it as a tea time and have tea every day. Lots of lovely ways to do it. But if you're going to search to find more information on how to do it yourself, you do an internet search on morning time and read anything Pam Barnhill has to say about it. And during morning time, at our family, we sing hymns, we pray, we memorize Bible verses, we talk about what those Bible verses mean. And so it's a way of daily worshiping God and praying with my kids, showing them that we ask God to help us with our day. And it's precious. And then in every school subject that you teach, there's God, you know? And that it might be in math that you see patterns and you say, who do you think made the world? That these patterns would work like this, that 2 + 2 would always, always, always equal 4. Do you think that's random, or do you think somebody designed that? You can, in your history study, you can say, this is what was happening in the world, but what do you think God was doing? Right? Then the other thing you will love about homeschooling is the family relationships. And your kids being together all day, every day is one of those things that will be hard, yes, but it will be good. It will be so, so good. And you can focus on those family relationships. If brother and sister aren't getting along, you can set aside the curriculum for a bit and work on their character and their ability to talk through problems. And your kids will become each other's best friends, and they will learn how to relate to kids who are of a different age than them. You know, my oldest daughter learns how to take care of her baby sister, and love her baby sister. And my two oldest are 7 and 5, and they have a great relationship, and they're best friends, and they can sit and play for hours together. And sometimes, yes, being home all day together will strain those family relationships, but sometimes that strain is what you need to learn how to work through things. So in the end, I am 100% sure you will be thankful for those family relationships. And I was listening to a homeschool speaker talk about how, you know, when you are 80 some years old and sitting in a nursing home, the moments that you will think about are the homeschooling days. Those days that you've spent all day with your kids, watching them learn and discover. The third F is a huge one, and there's tons of parts to it. It's freedom. You have so much freedom with homeschool. You can take a week off and go on vacation in an off season when it's going to be cheaper and less busy. And if you want to take the week before that off to study the location that you're going to, like say we're going to go to Independence, Missouri here in a little bit, and we have been taking some time to study wagon trains. And homeschooling allows you to do that. Have that knowledge built up before you go to that place. It's so cool. You have the freedom to say, you know what, kids, I can see we are struggling today. Let's save some of this for tomorrow. Let's skip some of this for now. And you have the freedom to have a bad day. It gives you the freedom to be creative. It gives you the freedom to be done with school earlier in the day, and your kids can be creative, or they can be bored. Just a moment. Okay. So homeschooling allows you so much freedom. And in a bigger picture, if you see a student who is struggling in a subject or really excelling in a subject, you can change their grade level. It's very, very, very normal for homeschool students to be in, you know, say second grade in one thing and third grade in another, and maybe in the subject they're struggling with down to first grade. And you can still call them a second grade student, but really in reality, their curriculum can vary, and you have the freedom to meet the kids where they are and give them exactly what they need. And that is just beautiful. And so that kind of leads me into my fourth F, which is you can fit education to each student. If they have an extreme interest in something, you can do a curriculum on what they're interested in. You can do special studies on what they're interested in. You can head to the library and say, this is part of our school day that we are going to study this thing that you're interested in. And you have more freedom and more time to get outside classes like piano lessons or art lessons in, if you have a child who's interested in those things. Another way that you can fit their education to them is that you can really adapt whatever you're doing to their learning style. So if you have a kid who is a very auditory learner, you have the freedom to read aloud to them more often than you would another kid. If you have a kid who's a very physical kid, who's a kinesthetic learner, they can dribble a ball or go for a run in between paragraphs, or lots of different things. You can let them sit on a bouncy ball while they're doing their work. So there's a ton of ideas, and I will again probably be making videos about that in the future, of ways you can adapt to your kids' learning style. And there are curriculums that adapt well to specific learning styles too. So you can fit the education specifically to that kid. There's not 20 other kids that you're trying to teach the same level to. You don't have to make it work for everybody. You can fit it to just your kid. And the last thing is, you can have fun. You can have a lot of fun homeschooling. You can take your school to the park for a day, and you could let kids write their spelling words in shaving cream on the grass, and you can stop and have a dance party if you need to loosen up. And I just think there's nothing in the world that's more fun than watching a child's brain just click, and they just get it, and you get front row seat to that fun. And I am just 100% sure that if you've never homeschooled before, or if you've done it for a lot of years, that these are some of the main reasons why you are going to love it.